All right, we are live. So, wait, let me go live here too. Go live. Let me turn off this audio here so you don't have an echo. Okay. So, now, we are officially live. I'm going to be working on the Dragon again. I know I haven't been working on it in a couple days. I have another project that I'm working on with it. So while I was waiting on ordering some other stuff, took a little break, but now I'm back at it. Now, we're going to be attaching the belly. Unfortunately, I did a little bit of work when you guys weren't here. So, but this is where we left off with the Dragon before. Okay. Here he is. That's his entry hole from the side. Okay. It's going to be like this. Okay. So, again, where we left off, I was making the pattern for the belly, which I did last time on camera. And now I'm going to be attaching the belly. Now, the only thing I did do ahead, because it was a lot of hand stitching, which would have just been like an hour and a half of just watching me do nothing, all I did was sew together this one seam here, okay? I sewed together that one seam there on the front of the belly, and that's what this piece is, okay? So that's sewn and ready to go. But there's something else I did. So in order to get those ribs on the belly like the character has, I was going to be using some batting to do that, having a layer of batting underneath, stitching through it to get those ribs. Two things. First of all, I didn't have any batting, but I went to Joann's. I was going to buy some. But one thing I just had another idea. I saw this other, I saw in my fabric room, I thought I saw some batting. I'm like, oh look, great, I do have some batting. I went and grabbed it and realized what it was this very fluffy fur that I had that was a short pile. Okay, let me switch the camera so you can see it close up. Let me get the there we go. So you guys can see that really short pile fur there, and on Instagram you can see that there just like that. Okay. And it's not like it's a really high quality fur. It was a pretty cheap fur, and you can see the part of why I thought it was batting, because it just kind of falls out like this. So in a lot of ways, this is almost like an laminated batting. Okay, so I figured, hey, this might work because the batting might actually be a little bit too thick. And I know batting comes in different thicknesses, but it's hard to gauge the perfect amount sometimes with batting. So I figured, you know what, this might actually work better. So I cut out the belly piece to this size, okay? And I cut it out with no seam allowance, and then I hand stitched the inside. You can see that there. Now I did the same thing with this, except for I did leave seam allowance, and actually I left a lot of seam allowance on the outside. Okay, on the inside I didn't use any seam allowance because I hand stitched it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is just pin, you can see all these lines on here. That's from the ribs, okay? On both of these, and those are my stitch lines. So what I'm going to do is pin on those lines, and then I'm going to run it through the sewing machine. So right now I'm going to start pinning. Let me grab my, I had a feeling that I was going to run out of pins, because they just tend to disappear over time. So I bought, oh golly, I bought pins. Oh, brother. There's my thread. I hope they made it into the bag. Maybe she wrapped it in the fabric. Nope, she wrapped my receipt in the fabric. Let me check this bag. No, I'm just going to go for it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Made me nervous here. Brand new pins. Because they always just tend to vanish on me over time. Okay, so let me switch to the top view for the people on Facebook. And on IG, I'll tilt you guys down just a little bit. There we go. How's that? Maybe a little bit more. Come on. There we go. Okay. So you really want to line this up. This goes right on the outer edge, like that. Lining up those points. And I'll put a pin in. I'm going to kind of frame it out by lining up the top. I want to make sure that I line up those registration marks on the sides too. I think this is going to look awesome, and it's going to start coming together pretty quick after this, I believe. Although I'm not excited to make the arms. Wait, I have to pin it from the other side because I'm going to be stitching down, so that's what makes this annoying, is making sure that I pin in the right correct spots. Okay. There's one. Sorry, I won't do that again. Promise. Pink Sparkle. You said you're excited to see Figment in person? What do you mean in person? Oh, I think this is going to work out even better than I had hoped. Making sure you're lining up them notches there. Gosh, you can already see it coming along. And once it's stitched, it is really going to scream. Okay. You want to make sure your pins are all going in one direction too. That way when you're stitching and you take them out as you go, then you don't, you're not fighting the machine. Because it's the worst when you accidentally pin something in both directions on accident, and then you get to it on your machine, then you can't really get the needle out. It's a colossal pain. Got a new podcast episode coming out next Wednesday. I was just editing it too. It's with the one and only. Are you ready for it? This is the first reveal. Don't tell Cameron. I'm telling you guys. It is with the one and only James Voital Jr. And embarrassingly enough, that's how I learned that it's Voital. I thought it was Voital this whole time. It's Voital. James Voital Jr., also known as the Puppet Dungeon on Instagram, so make sure you check him out there. Got Chase Woolner's in the house. What's up, Chase? Can't wait to have him on the podcast as well. Puppeteer extraordinaire. Amazing artist. All around good guy. Look at that. We're halfway. Look at that. We're halfway across. You can already see it really taking shape. And that's just pinned. Gosh, I'm so glad I ended up using this fur instead of the batting. It was a happy accident. Cause that's the other thing too, because I figured with the batting, even with the batting that I need to lay down a piece of muslin or some kind of backing to help push the batting. So, which is why when I started thinking about this, this fur, that I figured, hey, it's kind of all in one. Now, just to be crystal clear too, I would never like use the other furs that I use for puppet building to do that, like the Mongolian and stuff. No, I would never even consider using that. It doesn't have that same fluffy quality. Okay. See that my wife is watching this live stream. That's Jax. If you're still there, hello. Okay, we're almost there. Just like 2 more left. Okay. Oh no, not 2 more left. Whoa, I was way off. We have 1, 2, 3, 3 more. Oh, I wasn't way off. Okay. They're getting wider as we go, so it's deceptive. Gosh, oh my gosh. When we attach this to the belly of this dragon, it is just going to scream. Oops, wrong way. I almost did it. Nailed it. Whoops. Skipped one. Look at that. Boom. Alright, last one. Then we're going to start stitching. Okay. Gonna be a dad any day now. Very excited about that. Don't worry, I'll keep you guys posted. If you see me, yeah, it's interesting because I wonder if I'm planning on posting something. But if you just don't see me for a couple days, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So, looks like we are in business. Good, let me get rid of that pin. Okay, I'm going to bring over my pin cushion. And now what we're going to do is stitch through all these lines right down that way, okay? I'm going to switch Facebook over to the sewing camera, And Instagram, you're coming with me. Alright. Oh, sorry, you just saw my mess. There's a lot of that. Okay, here we go. Facebook's still watching, good. You guys can see. My pin cushion. Stitching correctly. Check my bobbin. Bobbin's good. Look at that. We have our first line there. Okay, let's do the next one. Nailed it. Check that out, Facebook. See that? Instagram. Look at that. Oh, especially when it's, because right now it's kind of puffing out both ways. But when it's flat on the foam, it should only puff out forward, giving it, making it project out just a little bit more. almost done, but I'm just going to quickly stitch right along the edge of this as well. Okay, let me just do that. Alright. Bring it back over here. Whoa. Whoop. I just dropped the phone. Sorry. Did that hurt? Oh, they're upside down now. There we go. Okay. So, here we have it. Look at that. Let me switch it to the down facing. Now we have, that's looking really good. Looks a little strange as it is when it's flat, but again, once it's on this guy, I think it's going to look really nice. Let me just finish cutting this out though. Alrighty. Instagram, I will be right back because I gotta take some photos quick. So let me end. Or actually, well, let me just pause it. I'll take a picture there. I'll flip it and stick it. Boom. Okay, let's see if our Instagram friends are still there. Oh, you're still there, good. Great, okay. So, there it is. Now, let me pin this on this guy. See how that looks. Make sure that lines up there. trying to think what's going to be the best way to attach this guy. That is the question. But look at that. Let me switch you guys to the front. That is going to look really nice. Especially once it, you know, it's really glued down and sitting nicely. Still wants to be a little bit more flat, but man, that is going to look slick. I think I'm going to glue it. At first I was thinking about like using an X-Acto knife and cutting a little valley into it and like pushing the salvage into there, but I really, just in looking at it, I think it'll have the most flexibility. I'm afraid that that might make it a little stiff in some spots where I don't want it to be stiff. So I think I'm going to use some Super 74. But before I do, let me just, now that it's pinned down, I will just draw that glue line. Okay, that will do. Okay, now let me take these pins off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue around all the outside edges, but I think I'm going to glue up here where the foam is, the reticulated foam. I'm going to glue all that so it doesn't, so that way the neck won't wrinkle. So let me get out some paper. Okay, start off with this. Hey Google, turn on shop vent.
You got it, turning the shop vent on.
We'll put some in the middle of the body too, actually. Okay. look at that. He's looking good. It's a nice belly. I think once it sits for a little bit, it'll get, see it's got that little bit of stretch in there. Is that even? What's nice about having that salvage edge, let me switch you guys. Let me get rid of this paper because I don't want to get glue on the belly from the overspray. Okay. Okay. So this is how he's looking now. I think it looks really good. Let me just actually center it just a little bit more. I think that's more even. Now having that that salvage edge is going to be great for stitching the outside skin to the belly and making this all look super nice. But anyway, I think that is as far as I'm going to go for right now. I've got another project on my table that I have to attend to. I got this a little bit further, and I couldn't be more happy with how it's coming out. And I will keep you guys posted. Make sure you follow my Instagram and on my Facebook page to see more updates of this and other projects. But alright guys, thanks a lot, and I will see you soon.